I'm going to be talking on identity. Now, before I get started, there's so much to identity. And what I'm sharing today is really just the tip of the iceberg. So a lot of people correspond their identity with their parents or maybe their career. But a lot of the time, they also correspond their identity with what people say about them. And I was one of those people. I used to get my identity from what people said about me. So since you watched my channel intro video, you know that I started off showing myself in a lot of different wardrobes. Now, the reason for that is because each wardrobe corresponds with a time in my life and a stage that I went through. So I want to share a story with you. I'm the youngest of 7 siblings. You're probably thinking, whoa, that's a ton, and it is. Being the youngest, I always held what my siblings said as true. If you think of a kid, you can pretty much tell them anything and they'll believe you. I was that kid. Now, I look up to my siblings. So what they said and what they spoke over me had power and held influence in my life. I started getting my identity from what people said about me, what my siblings said about me, who they told me I was. You know, we'd go to the mall and my mom would ask me if I liked this sweater, and my sibling would answer for me and be like, no, Jeremie is a skater. He likes skater clothes. So then I'd be like, yeah, I'm a skater. I like skater clothes. It's funny how it happens, but when people say things about you, when they speak words over who you are or over your life, and if they continue constantly, consistently to say these things about you or over you, you begin to believe them. I'll give you an example. If you start telling a child at a young age that he or she is stupid, they're going to start believing that, and they're not going to try, and they're not going to excel, they're not going to grow, they're not going to succeed, because these words have held influence and power in their life. So if we fast forward through high school, I went through many stages, always trying to live up to what people said about me. Getting your identity from what other people say about you isn't necessarily very healthy. So I came to a place in my life where I was super lost and confused. I didn't know who I was or what I wanted. And ultimately, that led to utter emptiness. I started falling apart, decision by decision, choice by choice. It's almost like a spiral effect, a snowball effect, and one thing just adds to another. And all of a sudden, you don't realize where you are and why you're doing what you're doing, but you've just kind of ended up in this place. Genesis 1, verse 27, says that we were created in the image of God, male and female. Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were even born, I set you apart. Very often we view God like we view our parents. Maybe your dad left you at a young age, and you think God's abandoned you or doesn't exist. Or maybe you've been hurt or abused by your parents, and you think God is an angry God who's mad at you and doesn't accept you. Maybe your parents have really high expectations for you, and you feel like you can never ever live up to them. Maybe they don't talk to you, and you feel lonely, and you look at God the same way, like He's not really there with you. But I have good news for you. Romans 8:39 says that neither height nor depth, neither anything else in all of creation can separate us from the love of God. Nothing can separate you from the love that God has for you. He wants to restore you to the person He created you and formed you in the womb to be. I've messed up so many times in my life, but the greatest thing is that my actions don't define me. Did you catch that? Your actions don't define you. God does. In my channel intro video, I talked about Song of Songs 7:10, which says, I am my beloved's, and his desire is for me. I am my beloved's, and his desire is for me. If you let God's word seep in and what He says about you, it's then that you found your identity. It's He that created you. He loves you. He desires relationship with you. You're His beloved. There's nothing you have to do to earn His love, and there's nothing you can do to lose it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that this video spoke to you. If you want to check out my Instagram page, you can click this link right here, or if you want to check out my channel intro video, it's also right here. Make sure to subscribe, it's that big red button down below, or comment on a video you'd love to see me do. You guys have an awesome day.